Hello and a warm welcome to Federal special program Capital Beat. Self-styled godman Ashok Kharat arrested by Nashik police in, in a serious sexual exploitation rape case with multiple objectionable videos seized during the probe. Now, this is the story which is rocking Maharashtra for the past many days. Now, the arrest has sparked a political row after footage and videos circulated online showing Rupali Chakankar, who was the chairperson of the Maharashtra State Commission for Women, with Kharat at past events, prompting calls for accountability. Now, call records also show that Deputy CM Eknath Shinde was in touch with him, that is with Ashok Kharat. Then Chandrakant Patil was also in touch with him. Now, the kind of details which are coming in, and the spine chilling details of how he was trying to hypnotize so many women. Multiple videos have surfaced of how he was trying to hypnotize the women, and now with the call record data coming out where it goes to show that many politicians were also calling Ashok Kharat. Now, what does this go to show? Now, is this becoming another Epstein files case of Maharashtra? Are the political heads going to roll? Can this Ashok Kharat arrest lead to a big political tremor in Maharashtra? That's what exactly we're going to discuss this evening. Joining me this evening is Yogesh Pawar, who's a senior journalist and political commentator. Thank you so much, Yogesh, for joining. We have Atul Londe Patil, who is the spokesperson for Maharashtra Congress. Thank you so much, Atul, for joining. And we have Ami Tirodkar, who's working with Frontline, again a senior journalist and political commentator who takes care of the entire Western Maharashtra, the states of Goa, Gujarat, and Maharashtra as well. Thank you so much, Ami, for joining. And let me begin with Yogesh. What are you hearing from your sources, Yogesh? What was really happening, and what does this Ashok Kharat episode really show us to what was really happening in Maharashtra? Were all these political people involved with Ashok Kharat? That is question number one. And his modus operandi, which is coming out, that how he used to intimidate the women, and how did these videos come out? That's also another question. Yes, Yogesh, you have to unmute yourself. Yes.
I mean, first of all, thank you for having me. I wanted to start with telling you that, I like the idea that you've linked it, you've drawn a parallel with the Epstein files case. This is sadly, I there is a feeling that, just like Epstein was allegedly bumped off or committed suicide, so to speak. I only hope that this case doesn't go the same way, so that because so many details are emerging and so many people are finding themselves increasingly involved in this quagmire, as it were, and which is why it seems he'll be better off silent than someone who's speaking and opening up to this extent. This is something that I really fear, because now there are people in the ruling establishment whose role is so closely linked with Kharat's, that which is why, if they are both the accused and the jury and also the investigating authority, then what happens in these cases. One quickly wants to draw a parallel with the fact that this is you use the word modus operandi. The modus operandi in this case is not it is not a new template. It is a template which has been used in the past also. If you notice, we've had a sort of a string of godmen, whether it is Ram Rahim, Asaram Bapu, or Nityananda, who ran away and tried to create a whole nation of his own. All these people have been variously involved in sexcapades, if I might call them that, and then using them to blackmail women into submission and getting all kinds of sordid things done using that blackmail. So this is sort of a template which has been used in the past, and we see what has happened to them. Even if people like Asaram or Ram Rahim have been booked and put behind bars, they get parole at the drop of a hat. And when they're out on parole, the government machinery kind of sets out the red carpet for them. So even if Kharat is in, there is no telling that, he may be asked to keep silent, not bring out very important names, in order that this kind of facility is given to him. So one will have to be very vigilant. And I mean, I don't know, we have reached a level where one raises a lot of questions about the entire idea of what does the judiciary and what does investigation mean anymore, because so many times such cases, when they come up, they are squashed up so easily, and all it requires is another distraction of sorts, and immediately people, all eyeballs get drawn there, and this one will be forgotten. I hope that doesn't happen. People are brought to book, and it means a very big step, particularly in terms of gender justice. It is a very, very important case, and forever the women, it will send a signal to women who want to get into public life, women who want to be part of, as people's representatives when they come out. I don't want other women to fear this idea, and the fact that now for the first time we see more and more women keen to get into public life. They shouldn't end up feeling frightened that this is what could be happening to us, and which is why they will try to pull back. That, I think, is one of the biggest fallbacks of this whole mess. Neelu?
All right. I mean, quite shocking details coming in over there, but what the source-based stories are floating on different news or platforms is that, according to a source familiar with the SIT investigation, former Shiv Sena minister Deepak Kesarkar allegedly helped Ashok Kharat's brother Dilip Kharat obtain government approval for his schools and colleges through fake documents. Now, that is one story which is coming out. The opposition parties have demanded action and further investigation into the claims alleging that Kesarkar maintained close ties with Ashok Kharat and misused his office while serving as an education minister. Then so the entire modus operandi, if you look at, it seems that Ashok Kharat literally ran a sex racket where many high profile politicians, businessmen and bureaucrats were involved, and this case should not be used for political manipulations and settling scores. Now that is the fear. Is I'll come to Atul Londe Patil. Atul, what is your feeling about this entire case and the way the SIT is handling? And also, more shocking is the fact that how are these call data records coming out until unless the chief minister of the state says yes to it? How is, and there are reports that probably Anjali Damania has been handling all these CDRs. Yes.
Uh, Leave aside Anjali Damania's case because we know how people are interlinked with each other and how they are digging up each other's cases. So set aside, leave aside Anjali Damania ji, but this is a very high profile case. He doesn't have much influence on the common people, so this case will not go Saram or Ram Rahim's way because they get payrolls at the time of elections, just before the elections to influence the voters. So this case will not go that way. But as far as his influence or politician is concerned, it is also a matter of concern for a state like Maharashtra, where this political and politicians people have dipped to this level. Because Maharashtra is known for its open ideas, it's known for its social reform movements, and it's known for women emancipation movements also. So it has it has become a blot on the Maharashtra's whole history. And as far as this case is concerned, many big people, right from Eknath Shinde to Devendra Fadnavis to Amit Shah, these are high-profile people are involved. And I think the lady who is taking care of SIT is a very junior officer. So we have demanded that at least additional DGP rank level lady officer should be employed to investigate these kind of cases. So let us see what happens in the future. But this case is very serious. This shows the real face of the high profile society, encompassing all bureaucrats, politicians, businessmen, and all who other people likes to follow. So this is serious as far as the society is also concerned. Nilu.
All right, but what are your worries at the moment, Atul, being an opposition leader? What are you really fearing? Of course, one is that you said that a junior officer should not be handling this case because there are several high-profile politicians. But any other thing which you come across regarding this case, which the opposition parties are in the know? What do you feel are the challenges?
We are pursuing it. Our lady politicians and all senior politicians are pursuing it. It is more than Epstein, not less than Epstein.
So you are saying that it's more than
It,
an
it, it,
Epstein
it, is,
files.
it is more than Epstein, and day by day you will come to know more new things will keep on revealing. So let us wait and see if opposition is keep an eye on it, because all ruling people are involved in it. Thank God, nobody from opposition is involved in this racket.
Right. So so far you're saying that
Will
nobody's
not let it die. Will not let it die. Will pursue it to the end.
all right, all right. Now let me come to Ami Tirudkar. I mean, what happens now? Now that the godman has been arrested, Ashok Kharat has been arrested. I'm told that probably his wife is missing. His son was detained. Then I think he's let off. Now, what are the what I want to understand for the perspective of the viewers? How was Ashok Kharat functioning, and how did this entire case come to light? It was only after the women started complaining. But who was the first complainant? If you could just explain, and how did this video footage also come out in the public domain?
If there is a feeling in Maharashtra that if this case is properly investigated, then Kharat will not be just an Epstein, but he is going to be the Rasputin of Maharashtra's last 10 years. The way he used to have influence on many senior politicians, and please take a note that not just of Maharashtra. Yes, there are many senior politicians of Maharashtra involved in his activities, but there are some names in different administration, that is a cricket administration of national level. Then there are some leaders of a national influence, huge influence. They are also devotee of Kharat per se. So that is the first thing.
Allow me to
Secondly,
interrupt you, Ami. Allow me to interrupt you. Is it true that Ashok Kharat was trying to trap the wives of the big businessmen, politicians, IAS officers, and that's how he was getting into this blackmailing business?
that is one sleazy allegation against him, and that is partly true. But more than that, there was a buzz that this person Ashok Karat is having some kind of extraordinary power, that we say the black magic or something like that. And on basis of that, he used to have huge influence in the corridors of power. And this not starts with 2025, because the first case in this whole matter is filed by Ashok Karat himself in December 2025. So, but that issue is not starting from last 2 or 3 years. This Ashok Karat got the first government aid, the financial help by Devendra Fadnavis government in 2018, when Jaykumar Rawal was the tourism minister. Jaykumar Rawal is still marketing minister, and nobody is asking his resignation apart from Congress. So Jaykumar Rawal's ministry has given him fund to develop his trust and the area. So from there, this entire political, the story of political influence starts. There is a buzz that Eknath Shinde used to be in touch with him very regularly, and now Anjali Damania has put out the records of the CDR, where Eknath Shinde was having some 17-18 calls by directly from his number. But I have one question: how come this selective CDR is coming out? Because there are leaders. If you find out the leaders, the names of the leaders of the CDR, there is Eknath Shinde, there is Chandrakant Patil, there is Ashish Shelar, there is Deepak Kesarkar, and of course Rupali Chakankar and her sister. But the problem is, all of these people are known as either competitor to the Devendra Fadnavis or the anti-Devendra Fadnavis. So
Okay.
the matter is, how come this selective CDR is coming out? Because
No, so are you
there is,
hinting at the fact, Ami, are you hinting at the fact that Devendra Fadnavis is trying to be selective, and maybe he's trying to obliterate all his detractors?
I am not hinting about it. The people are alleging it, and also with the arrest of Ashok Kharat, there is one letter written by Raj Thakre on Twitter, and he has exactly mentioned the emotions of the Maharashtra people. He has said that do not use this matter to clip somebody's wings, to keep
Hmm.
somebody's ambition. So that is
Yes.
that is very indicative. That is very indicative. That is the first thing. Second thing, there is a buzz, and Yogesh and Atul will agree with me that videos are not just 58. There are thousands of videos. And
Oh
how
my
come
God.
this only 58 videos are got leaked? That is the
Right.
first question. Second,
No, but just allow me to interrupt you, Amy. You said that they are not just 50, but there are thousands of videos. Now, I want to understand from you that this self-styled godman, he was calling the women to his chamber. He was trying to hypnotize them and use all those tamarind leaves and fake snakes, 20-foot long. I mean, whatever these reports which you see, how he was trying to hypnotize and trap these women. So, was there a camera placed inside the chamber where he was interacting with these women? Now, how was that leaked? That's another story altogether. So, who has done all this? Who actually finally exposed this?
no, that I was coming to that point only. His one of the staffer has put CCTV camera in that room, in that cabin.
Okay.
Okay, and
Okay.
he himself has handed over these videos in a pen drive to the SIT. Now it is the responsibility of SIT to find out who is leaking these videos. That is the first thing. Because that person, the Niraj Jadhav, the name of the staffer is Niraj Jadhav. Niraj Jadhav handed over to the SIT and filed
I'll
complaint.
come to you, Yogesh. I'll come to you. Yeah. Huh, go
How
ahead. Go ahead. Let me
how
finish it.
how come somebody is from within SIT is leaking it, or who is leaking these videos? That is the first thing. And second thing, and that is very serious, because of these kind of leaks, now women of that area are terrified. They are not ready to speak. They are not ready to file a complaint. This is a complete sabotage of that case, and this is very serious. So in this term, we and everyone is now feeling that this is not about those women, those hundreds of women who were cheated by the name of black magic. But this is a political battle, and political battle, somebody in the government wants to clip the wings of somebody who is trying to be the superpower of Maharashtra, or the biggest power of Maharashtra. Is it this going the political way? That is the second thing. And third is, how come only one point of people are being targeted? Because there is a buzz that not just from politicians from the one camp, but politicians from the other camp were also visiting him. And also, not me, but the government lawyer, the public prosecutor, has said in Nashik court that this Kharat, they have a suspicion that this Kharat has human sacrifices. They are missing 5 cartridges of his gun. So who is going to talk all about all these kind of thing instead of this political witch hunting? That should be the
Oh, but
main
these
question of
stories,
all
I
this.
mean, this story about human sacrifices and all, is the police in the know of it? Is SIT in the know of it? Or this is
Police,
just a rumor, or what the
public
people are talking about?
Public
Yes.
prosecutor, public prosecutor himself claimed in Nashik court while seeking the
Okay.
extension of custody, police custody of Ashok Kharat, that they have suspicion. I don't know what kind of proof they have, but he himself said that we have suspicion. So this kind of gruesome crime that need to be investigated and that need to be talked about instead of this political witch hunting that is helping some people to consolidate their position.
Right, right. So you are saying that this looks like a case of political witch hunting rather than
Yes.
finding out the root of the problem. The entire case is becoming political. I want to come to you, Yogesh. You were raising your hand at that point of time. So, what is really happening then in the Maharashtra circle? And is this case restricted to Maharashtra only, Yogesh? That is also another worry. That was he just operating in Nashik, or he was trying to trap the women of other states as well? Now, is that something which is also being investigated? You'll have to unmute, Yogesh. Just unmute yourself. Yes.
Yeah, basically, I wanted to come in here when Amey was speaking. Amey made a very important point about the fact that so much of it is coming out and so much more is not coming out. So, and this is very selectively being leaked. The very fact that the public prosecutor sort of raised the flag of human sacrifice and, brought up points like that to ensure that he stays in police lockup and doesn't come out to be able to talk to the media or talk to outsiders is also seems to be sort of a. I know it at the risk of sounding conspiratorial. I must say that this seems very very fishy. It is like because once he is in detention, there is only a certain kind of information that can come out. If he is not detained, if he is out even on bail, then if he speaks at any point in time to the media or any other details emerge, then those can get uncomfortable for the government, and not only for the government, it those IOUs that it has with politicians on the other side who are sort of have willy nilly for whatever reason been supporting this government in various ways. So I think all those things will also come to light, and which is why great amount of care is being taken to put out information very selectively. And this, I think Amey made a very wonderful point about the fact that there seems to be a very determined effort at ensuring that only a certain set of people get exposed, and a certain set of uh, facts about them, the exposes about them come out, whereas several others are sort of silenced. It is also very troubling because this is like exactly what happens when women are at the receiving end of unwelcome sexual attention or sexual violence, when they are sort of silenced into being quiet. They are silenced by shaming them. So, which is why the idea of putting out these videos is also something that is, it is very troubling and very problematic, because the fact that these videos are being selectively put out, and even if the media has, at least some channels have made some kind of a sort of a fig leaf effort at, morphing those faces. Otherwise, mostly it has been done in such a haphazard way that you can actually make out who is there. And I think it means that other women who will perhaps been who have similarly been are survivors of this kind of violence, if one might call it that, sexual violence, will not have the gumption to come ahead and speak about it openly. That, I think, is the primary purpose here, to sort of silence them. And this, I think, it's very problematic. I think if the judiciary, if we had a judiciary like we had a judiciary in the past, if it was so conscientious, then this case would have been sort of taken out of the ambit of the government where it is happening, like we saw in the Best Bakery case, or the cases in Gujarat which were brought to Maharashtra and tried in a special court. So it should be taken into the ambit of a government where the party in power is not there in the ruling, and which is where this is independently tried. I believe that it is extremely unlikely that we'll arrive at any kind of even the kernel of the truth to if it continues to come out in this way. There are, like I said, among the many conspiracy theories that are going around is also the fact that if he does not sing the tunes that the ruling party wants, then for all you know, Kharat may suddenly be gone just like Epstein was. So, which is why this is something that needs to be looked into very, very seriously. Everybody who has a stake in good governance, good justice, and getting to the truth needs to sort of ensure to speak up about this. Neelu?
Right, absolutely. In fact, Atul, I mean, the story is about sleaze and godmen, and it becomes a horrid cocktail. It's not new. We've seen in the past as well. But in Maharashtra, specific to Maharashtra, has Maharashtra ever seen a case like this before? And now about the larger problem, like what both Amia and Yogesh pointed out, that there will
I
be
really,
women who must be visiting the godman, but now they would be scared to speak. Now, what
I,
happens to the larger problem here, and how is that going to be addressed? Yes.
really don't remember in a recent past if these kind of cases have ever happened. But we have a parallel cases that are happening in Maharashtra. One Vaidya Maharaj from Panvel, and another Kurkura Maharaj, and one more sex scandal came out in Sangli, who is a journalist, Erande name journalist. So we have parallel cases coming out in Maharashtra, and you see how the politics of Maharashtra has stooped to this level for the lush of power. This is one of the case. Laship Power is one of the case, and sexual maniac Kharat's involvement in sexually exploiting good women from good houses is another thing. But what we have done, we have asked, we have demanded resignation of 9 ministers who have so far we have seen them associated with the Kharat. None of them have submitted the resignation. Even the Jirwal, one of the ministers who caught with the transgender last week, but he has also not resigned. He is not attending cabinet meetings and all. It is important that all things should come out, how power is being used by this kind of self-styled godman, how power is being subverted to few people who is exploiting the resources of common man, and why these things are happening. These two three matters are important, and for which Yogesh has rightly said this case should be investigated under some kind of a retired high court judge or a sitting high court judge with this SIT. Otherwise, there is no use of having any kind of investigation. Will not get anything. Will not get anything if the investigation is going on the same way, because Devendra Fadnavis, you can find Devendra Fadnavis with Kharat, you can find Amit Shah ji with Kharat, and there are many more which will reveal in the future. So we have already demanded these things, and we hope will not leave this like this. We'll pursue it to the end.
Right. So I'll just take the concluding comments now from Amy and Yogesh. Amy, what are the worries as far as this investigation is progressing in the days to come? And many more details, more videos are coming out. So what is the biggest worry as far as this investigation of the case is concerned?
The first biggest worry is whether it is this investigation and the entire matter is really going to be investigated at the root of the issue. That is the first thing. Or is it going to be just a political witch hunt, which is right now happening? That is the first thing. And that is why everyone is now doubting the SIT's way of investigating. Nobody is doubting the integrity of that lady officer who is IPS officer, is Tejaswi Satpute, who is heading the SIT. She is really upright officer, so nobody is
I have not
raising doubts about her
doubted her
integrity.
integrity. I
But
have not doubted
no,
her
no, I
integrity.
know, no, not even you, not even you. I know you, I know you. That's not. So my point is this SIT investigation, the way CDR, because we are in journalism for last 20 or at least 20 years. Okay, is it so easy to get CDRs? Is it so easy? So and yeah, and why not? And if the CDR is getting leaked for some people, there is a buzz that many people, many, if we really start taking name of the people, then the country will be shocked to know that who was going to visit and where this Ashok Kharat used to go every 15 days. Not just some Eknath Shinde used to go or Deepak Kesarkar used to go to Ashok Kharat ashram every 15 days. That is not only the case. This Ashok Kharat was also used to go to every 15 days to some people's houses, some big politicians' houses. That is
Hmm.
also a fact, and
No,
nobody
so
is
maybe
talking about.
what you're saying, Amy, which what you are pointing out is that it is just not that he was trapping only the women, but he was a regular visitor at the high profile, at the houses of the high profile politicians. So what was he doing? Was he getting was he getting business in lieu of that? Was he getting himself involved with huge money? What was really happening then?
So there is a buzz that he used to launder money a lot,
Okay.
hundreds of crore. That is the first thing. He used to visit many senior officers and politicians' home. That for that one thing. Second, there is also a buzz that he used to claim that he is having some kind of extraordinary supernatural power, and he used to do that black magic kind of things against some people. So for and against some people, that kind of things he used to do. That was he used to claim, and so he used to visit many people, many senior politicians of this country. I'm telling you. So that is also a serious issue. So this is why only some names are coming out. Why only some name the CDR of some names are coming out? That is also a question. And the third and biggest worry about is this is not the one Baba or one self-styled godman. There are many in Maharashtra. They are doing similar thing. Not just if we keep aside this woman and sexual favors and all. There are some Baba and godmen in Maharashtra who are very key people in the power corridors. And so now there is a buzz in power corridors कि दुश्मनों की टाइम खत्म हुआ, दुश्मन खत्म हुए, अब दोस्तों की बारी है. So and these babas are being used to defame these alliance partner or the partners or the friends in the politics. So these all things need to be investigated, and that's why the way Yogesh is saying that there should be investigation from somebody like the retired High Court judge whose credentials are not doubtable to anyone. Only then we will be able to go to the roots of this investigation.
Right. All right, Yogesh, I'll come to you for the concluding comments. Yes, please go ahead.
No, I wanted to quickly say that, apart from the fact that he was, using creating this bogey of black magic and also kind of currying favor with these politicians, but he was also positioned, for example, there is also some information, this has not been confirmed, which is why I'm not taking the name of this corporate group, which is very big. I know that they were also regularly his among his clientele. They would visit him regularly, and he was sort of positioned himself as a power broker. And in terms of land acquisition, in terms of finding ways of getting people displaced from a certain land, all those kinds of deals that he was brokering. So he emerged because of his intersectional location of where he had positioned himself, which is why you will notice that it became a very easy thing for him to power broke and in the process amass a lot of wealth. Yes, he was money laundering. Yes, he was doing all these things to blackmail people. All that was also there. But he was also amassing a lot of wealth from power broking simply like this between corporates and various functionaries within the government. So, particularly this corporate, I mean, it is known to be very close to this the current regime. Their representative has been a regular visitor, and he's not going there to fall at Kharat's feet. He's going there simply to bring goodies to him so that he gets them favors of some sort. Not that they will not get them from this government, but they want an even better cutting deal. So this kind of a thing was also happening, and it's very much there in the ambit. And I don't know why that aspect of it is not being brought out by the SIT, or why that is not being leaked. And if it is available to the media, why is a certain group of media not putting that aspect out as much as it does the others? So this is all
Right.
something that we need to look at.
Yeah,
Neelu?
no, indeed, it is shocking. But one quick question to Atul before I wind up the show. That Atul, of course, Ashok Kharat may have risen to the rank of a power broker and someone who has huge occult powers. He must be practicing this for so many years, and then he's reached a position like this. Now, when Maharashtra had a Congress government, was anybody within the Congress circle aware of a person like Ashok Kharat, or that he was doing all this hanky panky business and having these occult powers? Did nobody from Congress ever try to connect with him? Unmute yourself, Atul. Just unmute yourself. Yes.
I didn't see anyone from my party or from the alliances of Mahavikas Agadi involved with Kharat. If Yogesh and Amey knows, they can tell you better than me. But as far as my knowledge is concerned, I haven't seen any one of them. During Congress Congress period, they were only talk about corruption. They will not talk about development. They will only talk about the political developments, not about religion, not about religious involvement in the political corridors, not about the involvement of any godman. Throughout the India, throughout the country, we have not seen any Baba except that Dudwala Baba, if I remember during Narsiya Rao's period, when Lord Ganesh started drinking milk. That is the only case which I remember happened during Congress period. This is the real face of BJP government, Nelu. From national level to state level, this is the real face of BJP, where they involved religion very much to govern the people, and they are taking benefit of जो आस्था है ना, छोटी आस्था जो होती है उसका, they are taking benefit of भोले भाले लोगों की आस्था, and they are using it to grab the power, and that is why these kind of things are happening. Why I have also
Exactly.
heard that he has crossed the photograph of Ajit Pawar, and they have done some black magic to remove him from his power. There are people who are involved in doing this. Rohit Pawar has also already taken their name. The news is also appeared in some Marathi regional papers as far as these kind of things are concerned. So this is very serious thing. Kharat is not related to sexual exploitation, to lust for power, power broking. There are many more things. Whether he was involved in political murders, political assassinations, conspiracies, there are many things which are yet to get revealed. So that is why we want somebody like retired judge like Abhay Okji, whose integrity, his impeccable integrity can assure us the real investigation, and we can reach to the root cause of why this Kharat like people has become powerful in our society. So we want
Right.
a person like
Yes,
Abhay.
Yes,
I wanted to say
Yogesh.
that I
Yes.
said along with the curative aspect where you actually are pursuing a case and going into the investigation, all that is fine. But at the same time, one will have to look at a preventive and promotive aspect where the idea that India needs to ask itself, the average citizen needs to ask themselves why we have allowed the rise of these right wing parties, which sort of mainstream the weaponizing of religion, which is what creates a fertile ground for these kind of godmen to breed in this way and become forces unto themselves. And this is something that all need to ask ourselves and hang our heads in shame about, which is something that we need to all go back to our movement. There was a movement which had begun when Gauri Lankesh was killed or Narendra Dabholkar was killed. This is a land of rationalists. This is a land of the socialist movement. What happened to all that? And when did we land up into a state where we become a state where people like Kharat have a sort of a run of the state and can do just as they wish and will also find protection and also willing partners, co-conspirators within the regime. So this is something that we need to all ask ourselves as to what has brought us to this state. This is ultimately the land of Phule, Shahu, and Ambedkar. How did we come to this state? This is something that we need to ask ourselves. Nilu?
Absolutely. And
This
there's
is
some
also the
very
reality, Nilu. Nilu, I want to
yes,
make one
yes,
point. This is also the reality
yes.
after the assassination of Kalburgi, Gauri Lankesh, and Dabholkar. Rationalists and rational people have stopped talking about this. They have not criticized. They are not criticizing these kind of things when these people are changing the syllabus. They are killing the scientific temperament of the students. They are killing the neutrality and the secular fabric of this country. This is why these things are growing day by day. So we hope that rationalist people of India once again start their work without fearing this regime.
Absolutely, but some very disturbing questions coming in. But as what we've been discussing in the last almost 37 minutes, that will the root of the problem be addressed, or will it just be left to political witch hunting? Will there be an independent probe? Will there be an honest probe? That's the biggest question. Thank you so much. I'll have to end it here. Yogesh Pawar, Atul Londe
Yeah.
Patil, Congress national spokesperson. I said Maharashtra Congress, but I'm sorry, Atul. Thank you so much. And Amit
Thank-
Tirudkar, thank you very much for joining. Thank you.
Thank you, Neelu, Ameya, and Nilesh. Yes, thank you so much.